In Matthew chapter 5, Jesus gives us a list of qualities that he says describe the person who is blessed, somebody who is to be admired. We call them the Beatitudes, and they are a pretty searching test for every one of us. Most of us love the idea of being self-assured, but Jesus says, blessed are the poor in spirit. So many of us look for happiness all the time, but Jesus says, blessed are those who mourn. We admire an assertive person who seizes what they want, but Jesus says, blessed are the meek. And when we're treating righteousness, so many of us, as a hobby to be explored on weekends, Jesus says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness. Now, in Matthew 5:7, Jesus says, blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. And in saying so, he reframes for us so much of the way that we view other people in our lives. And so we have to ask ourselves this important question: am I merciful? Mercy is not something that we could think of as an easygoing temperament. Mercy isn't the same thing as being permissive or being lax with others. It's not saying, hey, no big deal in every situation, or that's cool, whatever, man. That's not mercy. To think of mercy as a temperament would be to miss the very thing that we've been talking about from the very beginning of this series, and that is the Beatitudes are not a natural thing to any of us. They aren't the result of natural temperament or disposition. They're the result of the Holy Spirit's work in us to make us like Jesus. And so, when we've come to Jesus in poverty of spirit, in mourning over our sinfulness, humbled by His goodness and hungering after His righteousness, we find that in this quality we become more and more like Jesus, to be merciful. Now, to be merciful is to see a wrong for what it truly is. It's not being easygoing. True mercy is eyes wide open about wrongdoing that's committed against us. Mercy begins with the painful awareness of the cost and the impact of that selfish or that sinful action. And it means a deep acknowledgement of our own hurt or our own loss because of that selfish act. It doesn't end there, though. Jesus tells the story of two men who owed debts. One owed over $1 billion. Don't know how he got that credit, but this is what Jesus says. When he got called on to pay his debt, he begs for mercy, and his debt is miraculously forgiven. But then that same man goes on to another man who owes him $1,000. And when that man begs for mercy because he can't pay, he tells him to pay up. He even chokes him and demands payment until finally the man who won't forgive is found out and is punished. Now, when Jesus tells it, it's a powerful story about mercy, and its meaning is really easy to see. Because Jesus is trying to say that every one of us has been forgiven our $1 billion debt. And when we've truly come to understand this, our attitude toward others is going to be one of mercy. You see, when we're not merciful toward others, it's like choking other people out for a few Benjamins when God has already forgiven us our billions. And Jesus says, blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. He's not saying that unless we show mercy, we won't get any. He's saying that until we have understood God's mercy toward us, how great a debt we have been forgiven, then we won't be able to show mercy. And so, if we haven't shown it, it means that we truly haven't received it. So today, I want you to think about the mercy of God that is toward you. The mercy of God that was on display on the cross when Jesus prayed for forgiveness for those who were killing him, when he had compassion on the very people who condemned him. That's the kind of mercy that is directed toward you and me today by God. So what would happen today if you were as merciful toward others as God has been towards you? What would happen if you and I truly understood and received God's mercy toward us? Jesus, I believe, is saying that we demonstrate that we've received mercy from God when we show mercy toward others. And when we do that, we're blessed. Because in doing so, our eyes get open to the cost of showing mercy. We learn what it feels like to absorb another person's debt. We experience what it's like to not treat others as they deserve, to not retaliate for a wrong done to us. And in doing that, we experience a deeper joy and gratitude for the mercy that God has shown to us. And so Jesus says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they'll be shown mercy."